Victory for Anne Hidalgo and a second term as mayor of Paris. The socialist candidate had teamed up with the Green Party to run on an environmental platform for the city. She promised to continue her drive to cut cars and pollution and help the French capital's economy recover from the COVID crisis.
You've chosen hope, you've chosen unity, chosen a Paris that breathes, a city that leaves no one behind.
Hidalgo's nearest rival, Conservative candidate Rachida Dati, conceded defeat. A former justice minister under Nicolas Sarkozy, she'd campaigned to clean up the city and crack down on crime. Trailing behind was Agnès Buzyn. The candidate for President Emmanuel Macron's centrist party failed to convince voters.
I want to thank all Parisians who swam against the tide to place their hope and confidence in us by voting for our list. I take on board the result.
The second round of the local elections took place more than 3 months after the first. It was delayed because of the coronavirus lockdown. The health crisis, a likely factor in the historically low voter turnout. Many restrictions have been lifted in France, which is why these elections can finally take place. There are, though, of course, special measures in the polling station. Masks are mandatory. Social distancing has to be respected, and everybody who works here is behind a perspex screen. Across France, there were big gains for the Greens, taking cities including Lyon, but it was a crushing day for the president's party that failed to win any major seats. Macron created his Republic on the Move party to help him win the presidency in 2017, but has struggled to expand its supporter base.
His party has suffered from the unpopularity of Macron himself. There was lots of trouble in the past 2 years, and in the middle of a pandemic you don't expect a reward for the government, certainly not in France, where people are criticizing a lot the power of the day.
Local elections have little direct impact on the national government, and Macron has played down their importance. After voting in northern France, he looked relaxed. Nevertheless, 2 years before the next presidential election, his party's poor results offer some indication of how much confidence voters have in his leadership, and as such, they'll be difficult to completely ignore. Natacha, Butler, Al Jazeera, Paris.